right here for a long time. I've seen your dreams in the night sky. You know I want you to be mine, but you won't make it that easy. You're not the type to fall in deep. You know that really you want me. We're on our own, take a risk now. Just let it go and don't fall down. I hope you know that my heart is yours. Never let go. Sudden months and stars out there. Let the beauty in your eyes well. With the picture I've got in my mind, it's you and I. I see you've lost your way back home, but I'll take you somewhere we're alone, so that you can see my heart again and never go. Why can't I get you to just stay? You're like a song stuck on replay. Your smile is always in my way. I know you know that you need me. It's not a secret that we keep, so just admit you see me. We're on our own, take a risk now. Just let it go and don't fall down. I hope you know that my heart is yours. Never let go. Sudden months and stars out there. Let the beauty in your eyes well. With the picture I've got in my mind, it's you and I. I see you've lost your way back home, but I'll take you somewhere we're alone, so that you can see my heart again and never go. Never go, never go. You 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 never go, never go.
Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear.
Hey, how about you shut the up? I'm doing Lou too, bitch.
You pick me up when I drown. You got my head spinning round. I'm out of control, just hold on. We can make this last a while, but you keep acting like a child. So we can do this one more time, then I'm not gonna do this anymore. Cry on my shoulder and make me feel like I'm the one. So go and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you. Let's just say our last goodbye. For now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear. My head off the ground. You pick me up when I drown. You got my head spinning round. I'm out of control, just hold on. We can make this last a while, but you keep acting like a child. So we can do this one more time, then I'm not gonna do this anymore. Cry on my shoulder and make me feel like I'm the one. So go and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you. Let's just say our last goodbye. For now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear. Let's just say our last goodbye. For now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits, and some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. Certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit. Silly shit. Stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Mom's gonna fix it all soon. Mom's coming round to put it back the way it ought to be. Fuck L. Ron Hubbard and fuck all his clones. Fuck all these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. Yeah, fuck retro anything. Fuck your tattoos. Fuck all you junkies and fuck your short memory. Yeah, fuck smiley glad-hands with hidden agendas. Fuck these dysfunctional, insecure actresses. I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal wave. I wanna see the ground give way. I wanna watch it all go down. Mom, please flush it all away. I wanna see it go right and down. I wanna watch it go right in. Watch you flush it all away. Yeah, time to bring it down again. Yeah, don't just call me after me. Try and read between the lines. Yeah, I can't imagine why you wouldn't welcome any change, my friend. I wanna see it come down, bring it down, suck it down, flush it down.
Hey, y'all take it easy on Judah. Number one, he's a flat earther, so he, mentally he's not really able to keep up with you guys. Number two, let him celebrate Notre Dame's biggest win of his lifetime, please. Okay? Beating a number one team in the regular season is Notre Dame's biggest accomplishment since 1991. Okay? Let him have something.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
Whee! Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube this morning. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a great weekend, except for obviously the Georgia game. Sucks to lose, but I think a lot of people saw that coming. I mean, ranking that loss, in my time on YouTube, it's probably not even top 5 in terms of anger or whatever. I mean, hard to get upset when you kind of know what's coming. But executive order says when I said give the flat earther a break. He said, I said they haven't, it's their biggest win since 1990. He said kind of like UGA. No, that's nothing like UGA, sir. Notre Dame is what, 0 for 9 in BCS games, playoff games, and New Year's 6 games. UGA has wins in all those games, sir, all of which are bigger wins than any regular season win could ever be. I know you don't understand that executive order because you've never won one of those games. In fact, you're like previously mentioned, you're 0 for 9 in those games, winless in BCS games during the entirety of the BCS era, winless in playoff games during the entirety of the playoffs, winless in New Year's 6 bowls during the entirety of the New Year's 6 era. And not only have you lost all 9 that you've been in, you've lost them by an average of 24 points. Now, none of that takes away from your win this past weekend. It was a good win. I mean, we're halfway through the season. Lots of teams have injuries or players out. So, was Clemson at full strength? No, but that doesn't mean Notre Dame didn't beat them. Notre Dame still beat them, period. Lots of teams have players out. Half Georgia's defense was out. Does that mean I cannot count that loss for Georgia? No, it's still a loss. Still a loss. And for Clemson, it's still a loss. With that being said, if Notre Dame and Clemson were playing tomorrow, I would take Clemson to win. Again, that's nothing against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a great team. But if they played again tomorrow, I would pick Clemson. They're pretty evenly matched. If they played 10 times, maybe each team wins 5 or something. I don't know. But if they were playing tomorrow, I'd take Clemson.
Even without Trevor?
Well, no, they'd have Trevor tomorrow.
Okay.
Trevor wasn't a problem.
Why was he?
Here's the problem.
I'm confused. Why was he on the sidelines?
He's negative for COVID, but the ACC has a rule that you have to be, you can't play within 10 days, and you have to pass this cardiac test, not for contagious reasons, but for his own personal health.
Okay.
So it's just a 10-day rule, but if you test negative for 72 hours straight, you can still show up on the sideline. You're just not eligible to play until you pass all those cardiac tests and everything else in the ACC. I said the same thing when I saw that. I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. But then someone explained the ACC rule to me, and I said, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it now.
Wouldn't it be weird to have a governing body over all of college football making rules and procedures and whatnot?
Well, you used to
Same.
have one, the NCAA, but unfortunately they don't have any control over the Power Five. And the Power Five is it's like the Frankenstein story. Dr. Frankenstein creates the monster, but then the monster ends up in charge.
Right.
The NCAA put all this stuff together, and now the Power Five is so powerful they can't tell the Power Five what to do. Every time they try to get the Power Five to do something that the Power Five doesn't want to do, they threaten to cut ties with the NCAA, and the NCAA caves in.
Which they have to.
Financial reasons. But Trevor wasn't the reason Clemson lost that game. And I think Clemson fans know that. I mean, what was Trevor going to do for you in that game that the ukulele didn't do? Clemson lost that game because they had for a couple of reasons. One, injuries on defense, particularly the linebacker position, and number two, nepotism. Nepotism lost Clemson that game. Period. I mean, I talked to Pete about this last week. It's just a terrible idea.
Having I know what you're talking about.
You shouldn't have your coach's son, who's not very good, on scholarship. Period. He's not very good, and he shouldn't be there because it's just not a good look. So, and they're down all these linebackers because they wasted a scholarship on Venable's kid, and they should have went out and got a legitimate linebacker if they needed a linebacker, but they didn't. It's nepotism. I give a lot of hell to South Carolina fans for Will Muschamp's, the situation with Will Muschamp's son. Ha, ha, ha. He didn't even want to play for his own daddy type of thing. But that's just trash talk. That's the right way to do it. You should not be recruiting your staff's children. You just shouldn't do it. It's just a bad,
What if they're
whether
out of
you're
the
a
world
coach,
amazing?
whether you're a coach and you're talking about other coaches you sign or players. Like, look at why is Oklahoma's defense doo-doo right now? Nepotism. Bob Stoops hired his brother, Mike Stoops, to run the defense. He was unqualified. He didn't know what he was doing. The defense got worse every single year Mike Stoops was there. And how do you fire your own brother? You can't. So he stayed there. And then even when Stoops retired and Lincoln Riley took over, he couldn't fire Mike Stoops for 2 years because he didn't have the pull. He didn't have the clout. He didn't have the stroke, as Law Tide would say. Now, after a couple of years, when he won a bunch of games and made the playoffs, he manned up and fired him, finally. But that was 6 years too late. And now look at Oklahoma's defense now. They still can't tackle anybody. Why? Nepotism. Why is Mark Richt out of a job? Nepotism. Plain and simple. Ask the Miami fan.
I wish I could blame nepotism.
How did
on
Mark
Tennessee.
Richt's son work out for you guys, you Miami fans? How did Mark Richt's son work out for you at Miami? And they went to Mark Richt and they told him he's got to go. And what did Mark Richt say? No, I can't fire my own son. Of course you can't. Of course you can't fire your own son, which is why you never should hire your own son or brother or give your below average son a scholarship to a top 5 program. That's why Clemson lost that game. So all that being said, Clemson would beat them tomorrow if they played.
And he'd probably be the leading.
And that's not to take anything. Listen, Notre Dame played a great game. That's not taking anything away from Notre Dame at all. Those are 2 of the top 5 teams, are they not? I mean, does anybody, trash talk aside, anybody think those aren't 2 of the top 5 teams? I mean, let's be real. I'm also going to say this right now, too. Clemson ain't winning the Natty. And that's just not happening. Clemson is not better than Alabama or Ohio State. They're not. They're not beating either one of those teams.
It's ridiculous right now.
Yeah, Clemson's the 3rd or 4th best team, and that's that's going to make Clemson fans mad because they're used to being 1 or 2. But Clemson's not a top. They're not winning at all. Here they go. Neither is UGA. Well, yeah, no shit, G-Pick. Neither is 128 other teams either. But Clemson just doesn't have it this year. As far as national title goes, nothing against them. Alabama's just a way more complete team, and Justin Fields is just playing on another level. Justin Fields has 11 incompletions all year, BBD.
Yeah, I know. He wasn't like 26 or 28 this weekend, something like that.
11 interception. I mean, 11. I know they've only played 3 games, but 11.
Still.
11.
Less than 4 incompletions a game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Georgia had 20.
Racking up
Georgia
some
had
rushing yards,
Georgia
isn't
had
he?
20. Georgia had 20 incompletions Saturday. We were 9 of 29. 9 of 29 for 112 yards. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen a worse coached game than Dan Mullen in the second half of that game. How did Florida not win that game by 40 points? Did you watch it, BVD, or was it on the same time as Tennessee?
No. I
don't remember.
I watched the second half of it.
My
off
God.
and on.
When Mark
Got out of
Webb,
hand, I kinda didn't care.
when Kyle Trask threw that ball right to Mark Webb, and he dropped it, that would have Georgia could have won that damn game. That was midway through the fourth quarter. We were down by 13. I don't know how we were only down by 13, but we were only down by 13 midway through the fourth quarter. And Kyle Trask threw the ball right to Mark Webb on their own. Florida was on their own 30-yard line. Mark Webb jumped in front of a little 5-yard curl. And, I mean, there was nothing between. It was just 30 yards of grass between him and the end zone. And it literally hit him right in the belly button. That would have made it a 6-point game. And here's the thing. Florida's way better than UGA. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of last year's Georgia-Florida game. Georgia outplayed Florida big time in the game last year. But Georgia fucked around in the second half, took their foot off the throat, that kind of thing. And then you look up halfway through the fourth quarter, and it was only a 7-point game, and you're going, how the hell did this happen? It was the same thing in reverse this year. Florida just
kind of game drives
absolutely
me nuts.
dominated us. I mean, for the entire game. And Mark, that ball, I jumped. I had spent about an hour not doing anything. Just, this game is over. Not even any reason to yell or scream. That ball hit Mark Webb in the belly button. I almost jumped out of my shoes. I was like, oh, my God. Because at that point, when you're within 6 points, shit, Dwan Mathis is terrible, but he can throw it 70 yards. Hell, just get the ball back, get to about your own 40, and just throw 4 Hail Marys in a row. Whether it's 4 minutes, 5 minutes left, whatever it is, just throw 4 Hail Marys. You might catch one of them and win the game. I mean, it was unreal. I couldn't believe it. Dan Mullen screwed up the second half of that game. That was like a Georgia versus Alabama second half meltdown type thing from Florida. Florida didn't score a touchdown after, I think they scored a touchdown with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They didn't score another touchdown the whole game.
Yeah, I can relate. My team can
They
relate.
could have. Like I said, Dan Mullen screwed it up. The play calling was real weird by Dan Mullen in the second half. He got very conservative. I know Kyle Pitts was out, and he's your best player, but my God, every single time y'all threw the ball, there was 3 wide receivers open. It was
he's
just
not your
weird to
only
watch
player.
the play calling in that second half by Dan Mullen was weird. I take it from me, a Georgia fan, tendencies like that catch up to you. Georgia does that all the time. Dominates these teams, but only beats them by 10 or 13 or whatever. And it catches up to you in bad moments. That's a habit Dan Mullen's got to break. If you can beat somebody by 40 points, you should beat them by 40. And they could have beat Georgia by 40. No doubt.
I didn't get to see much of Mathis. How
He was
good or
terrible.
bad was he terrible?
He was terrible. I think he was 4 of 13.
Jesus.
And I'm going to be honest, Georgia had wide receivers open on every single play too. I like Todd Monken, our offensive coordinator.
Do you feel any? Well, no. Do you feel any better now about Dwan not being the starter?
Oh, well, this year is over. I mean, just forget this year. I want any quarterback to play now besides Stetson Bennett. DeJuan Mathis has looked terrible.
On JT Daniels.
He's not any good.
I mean,
That's it.
He's not seen the field yet, has he?
No. He's
So how do we know he's not
worse
any good?
because Kirby said so.
Oh, okay.
So he's worse than Bennett and Daniels. But the only thing I want now for the rest of this season is for Stetson Bennett not to play another down. Here's the thing about here's what I know beyond the shadow of a doubt. Stetson Bennett is not going to be Georgia's quarterback next year. I know that for a fact.
Correct.
So, has DeJuan Mathis looked good? No. But Stetson Bennett hit his ceiling in the second quarter of the Arkansas game. He's never going to get any better. Another offseason is not going to make Stetson Bennett any better. Now, another offseason might not make DeJuan Mathis any better. It might not make Carson Beck any better. It might not make JT Daniels any better. But it might. So play one of those three guys or a combination of those three. There's just no legitimate reason to play Stetson Bennett anymore. It was a good story, and fine. Let's even buy into Kirby Smart's bullshit sandwich and take a big bite of it. That Stetson Bennett actually did give us the best chance to win. Okay. Well, now that doesn't matter. What matters now is getting a quarterback ready for 2021 because Georgia cannot continue to have this kind of quarterback play. 112 yards, 9 of 29. I mean, that is abysmal. Now, can everybody do what Kyle Trask and Mac Jones do? No. But look around college football. Almost any terrible quarterback can throw for 150 or 200 a game in modern football, and we can't even do that. So that's all I know right now. Stetson Bennett is not the quarterback next year, so there's no reason to play him this year. Play DeJuan, play Carson Beck, play JT Daniels. Who cares if they look like shit? Who cares? I don't even care if we lose those games. I mean, I don't want to lose. I never want to lose.
I get it.
But if we lose those games, but those quarterbacks get some game time experience and progress a little bit and then have an off season, maybe one of them can be halfway decent next year. If not, and I have a feeling this may be what happens, Georgia may go get another transfer.
Oh, do you guys not have anybody next year? Have you not recruited another quarterback?
Well, we got
next
Brock
year?
Vandagriff coming in. He's like the number 2 quarterback in next year's class. But I mean,
Yeah.
but here's the problem. Is there anybody? Would you? All right, let's say DeJuan Mathis transferred anywhere else. Doesn't even matter where. If you had to bet your life savings that DeJuan Mathis would either be better at the other school he went to or the same, what would you bet?
Oh, well.
I would bet better. See, I'm not convinced DeJuan's a terrible QB. I'm just convinced he's terrible at UGA. But so has everyone else has been too. I mean, let's be honest. There ain't a bigger Justin Fields fan than me. That dude looked terrible at UGA. I don't know what they're doing to these quarterbacks. But so as far as Brock Vandagriff goes, if we get him, great. That means someone else doesn't get him. I don't have any confidence that he's going to show up at UGA and be an amazing QB. I think our only choice is to get a grad transfer who has been developed somewhere else for 4 years. That's our only chance. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Got your eye on anybody?
Like a Jamie Newman type from last year, because we're not going to get whoever the top transfer is. We're not going to get that person because they wouldn't come to Georgia in their right mind, and we didn't last year either. De'Aaron King went to Miami. We ended up with a leftover in Jamie Newman, but a leftover that's been developed for 4 years somewhere else is better than anything we'll ever have under Kirby Smart. You know what I mean? I truly believe that.
Trending that way.
So I don't know who that QB is. I don't know who's, a lot of people don't announce what they're going to do as far as transferring or anything like that until the season's over anyway. But that might be Georgia's best bet, is to go get a quarterback, an average quarterback, that has developed for 4 years somewhere else because we're not developing. You know what would have been nice? Sure would have been. Well, I'm not even going to get into it. Fuck it. I'm not talking anymore about Georgia quarterback.
How's Texas A&M looking to you right about now? Where you put them
Well,
in the SEC? Third?
yeah, third in the SEC. Yeah, they need. What do they need? I think they need Alabama to beat Florida. They definitely need Alabama to beat Florida. That's their only chance to get in. And honestly, I don't know if they're going to get in or not. Either way, but and I do think Alabama will beat Florida.
Yeah, they're well, hell, I don't know. That'll be a good one.
Florida can score with them.
On
That's for
paper.
sure. I just think Alabama's a more complete team. I still trust Alabama's defense right now more than I do.
Is there anybody left on Texas A&M's schedule that could possibly? Well,
LSU and Auburn are their two toughest games.
Yeah.
They play them the last 2 weeks of the season. Florida's got I guess LSU and Tennessee are their last 2 games.
Couple of cakewalks.
Well, y'all are in rough shape, buddy.
Lou, I don't even know what to say or think anymore. Give him 2 more year extension.
Yeah, the extension was a bad idea, but with or without the extension, you can't fire him.
Oh, I know.
You know, so that really, other than wasting money, that extension doesn't really have anything to do with it. But, I mean, Tennessee can't fire him. They can't. It's just that he's only been there 3 years. He looks awful. Everyone can see that. There's just no improvement. But you can't afford it, for one thing. You got another payment to Butch Jones, COVID year.
How the hell did we win 8 years in a row? I mean, 8 games in a row.
The only game that surprises me is the Indiana game. Everybody else you played was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Hell, looking at it now, that surprises me that we beat everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know, Ken. A&M's playing pretty good right now.
They beat us by 40.
Camaro O'Hare says George Pickens about to get kicked off the team. A lot of rumors surrounding him. The official word, of course, is that he's injured, but there's a lot of people that aren't buying that. Who's a different team? Notre Dame? I don't know what you mean. I don't think A&M will lose another game.
Thank you, fan Ben. Appreciate that.
The only thing I know about George Pickens is that he should get out any way he can. I've heard everything. I don't even want to get into all the rumors I've heard about George Pickens because it could, the word is he's injured. So until something else happens, I'll go with that. But there's plenty of other rumors around, and they all involve him not being at UGA next year. So, and I wouldn't blame him one bit. It's hard to talk serious on this channel because people just want to clown you all the time, and I get that because I do it too. George Pickens is one of the best 5 wide receivers in America, period.
Ain't got anybody that can get him the ball.
Period, yeah. He is wasting away at UGA. It's just sad. He is every bit as good as Jamar Chase, Terrence Marshall, the 2 guys at LSU. I mean, he's not as fast as like some of those guys that Alabama has, some of those sort of slot type players. But I mean, he's a legitimate wide receiver 1 in the NFL, George Pickens, without question. Now, he's got some knucklehead issues, but a lot of people do. It's a matter of getting those things under control, and Georgia hadn't been able to do it. I mean, he had the fight in the Georgia Tech game, the water bottle thing at, what was that, Tennessee, wasn't it? Wasn't that against y'all? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's wasting away at UGA. 130 yards receiving he's got all year. All year.
Alrighty.
Can you, I mean, that's unreal.
Yeah.
That's criminal.
That's one game.
Yeah, he had more than that in the bowl game last year. So whether there's all kinds of rumors involving everything from behavior and discipline to grades to all kinds of other stuff about him right now. I don't know that any of it is true. Like I said, the official word is that he's injured. I don't think anybody expects him to be at UGA next year, though, and I don't blame him at all. You can't blame these. I mean, I'm a Georgia fan. I want all the best players, but you can't get mad at a wide receiver or a quarterback who chooses not to play for UGA anymore. You just can't. Why would you? You know. All right, so I'm it is what it is.
It's kind of funny to me, Georgia fans sound like the damn sky's falling in down there. I would love to be in your shape right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, and we'll win the rest of our games. I mean, who's going to beat us? Vandy, South Carolina, Mizzou, Mississippi State. I mean, we'll beat those 4 teams, finish 8-2, and probably play in a Peach Bowl, a New Year's Six Bowl again. So, is it a terrible season? No, but it's a failure of a season. I don't think last year was a failure. I don't think the year before was a failure. I don't think 2017 was a failure. But this is a failure of a season.
Given it what you were looking at before Newman
right
out.
Right. Not winning the East, the offense looking the way it does for what seems like the 100th year in a row. It's just a complete failure of a season. And, Kirby is going to have to start publicly accepting more responsibility because the fans have been tired of his song and dance for a while. Even the wet paper towels that call themselves the UGA media now is starting to get tired of it. The condescending attitude. He laughs every time somebody asks him about the offense or the quarterbacks. He laughs or smirks, and he's got some BS answer. And somebody finally just straight up asked him. So I don't remember who it was, but I give him some credit. But they finally just straight up said, "Listen, there's this narrative." Now this part pissed me off. He said, "There's this narrative out there by the fans, like we're wrong or something. That you want to win a certain way." Instead of just winning. Is that true? And he laughed and smirked. No, I want to win. I don't care how we do it. And then they asked him about these other, when you see these other teams throwing the ball around, when you look at the teams that you lose to and you look at their offenses, do you want that? Or do you want to win a certain way? And he was like, don't you think if we could go out there and throw the ball around like that, we would? So I don't know what he's doing, but people are starting to get tired of his song and dance and, this whole, we played a player that gives us the best chance to win, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, people are tired of the excuses. The honeymoon's over for Kirby Smart. I mean, he's in his 5th year. Great. You took us to a national title game. That was great. That was 4 years ago. And you can't tread water in college football. You can't.
Not anymore. You could in the 70s and 80s.
It's one thing. I say this. There was no shame in losing to LSU last year. Look at them. I mean, they were the number 1 team. So, okay, we lost to LSU in the SEC title game. 2018, lost to Alabama. Okay, well, it is what it is. But it's that you're losing because of the same reason year after year after year after year after year. And you appear, I'm talking to Kirby, you appear to be unwilling to address that issue. So it's just strange to see.
Mega frustrating.
Yeah. But Tennessee's a dead program, buddy. I don't know. I feel bad for you guys because there's not anything y'all can do. You're going to lose a couple. You're going to lose a couple more games. Anybody on your team that can get drafted anywhere is leaving. 7th round, whatever, they're gone. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see transfers away from whatever good players aren't draft eligible, and I wouldn't be surprised to see players decommit. I think you probably right now you're on track to probably get to 15th ranked class. I think it'd be a miracle if you finish with that now. there's just no reason right now to think or expect that Tennessee is doing anything other than being terrible in the foreseeable future.
Sure
So
do wish it was acceptable to pick another team, but that's just not in my blood, you know.
I normally
So I'm stuck.
hate to do this, but I'm going to do it right
with
now.
this.
We're in the middle of a season, and I get mad when people ask me this, but fixing to pull y'all's schedule up for next year. I'm going to tell you what your record's going to be right now. You, if you want to mute me for the next 2 minutes, you can.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Bowling Green, win. Pitt Panthers, loss.
Toss up.
South Alabama, win. At Alabama, loss. At Florida, loss. At Kentucky, toss-up. At Missouri, toss-up. Georgia, loss. Ole Miss, loss. South Carolina, toss-up. Vandy, toss. I mean, 6-6. I don't know.
7-5 next year be a good year.
7-5 be
Not
a
a
good
good
year
year,
any
but-
year for Tennessee. That's that. I mean, it's time to start. It's time to start. I mean, 7-5 is a good year any year right now for Tennessee. The following year, you play Pitt at home 21, at Pitt in 22. You also play Army. That's a loss.
You damn right. Kate Ballard's going to roll in here and throw
Oh,
3
God.
times.
2022. At Pitt, at Georgia, at LSU, at South Carolina, home against Alabama and Florida. Another 6-win season, if you're lucky. 2023. At BYU, loss. UConn, win. At Bama, at Florida, at Kentucky, at Mizzou. You still got to fill in 2 more.
Jesus, we got any SEC home games that year?
Georgia, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Vandy. You only have 10 games scheduled right now for 2023, so you'll probably fill that in with 2 nobodies because you got the at BYU game as you'd be a big non-con, so you'll probably
Give
2
us
more
a
wins
Chattanooga and East Tennessee State or somebody.
there. Right. 2024, home against Oklahoma. That's the only non-con game you have scheduled so far for that year. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Cry about it?
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what I did do several years ago. I'm past crying about it now.
This
That's a
isn't the
bad thing.
Tennessee. What is it? This isn't the Tennessee you know or whatever. What was the name of that? What'd you call that video?
Oh, this isn't the Tennessee I know.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Well, it's the Tennessee
Definitely
I
not
know.
the Tennessee I grew up with.
Right.
I mean, I understand programs hit. You know, they hit the bottom for a little while.
Yeah.
Nebraska might be right there with us.
Mike
Uh-huh.
Reiser, thank you for hitting the PayPal link this morning. He says, here's a joke. Why did West Virginia lose to Texas? Because when they had 2 chances in the red zone to grab a pair of field goals, the coaching staff thought it was a good idea to go for it on 4th down instead of trusting their top 5 defense at the time. And then in all caps, how's that possible? Help me understand, Lou. Trying to trust the climb. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. West Virginia's defense clearly a lot better than anybody thought it would be. So I don't know what West Virginia fans' expectations were for this year in general, but I can tell you most of the college football world didn't expect much from West Virginia this year. So maybe you just take the defensive strides you made this year as a positive moving forward, because it doesn't look like your record's going to be great this year. But, and again, I don't start studying teams for next year until the offseason. So I don't know if you've got all 11 starters coming back or you're losing all 11 starters or somewhere in between. Honestly, I have no idea. But you take that forward to next year and you say, well, we'll have, hopefully anyway, we'll have a regular, normal offseason to work on the offense, and you try to do that. But there is some positives this year from West Virginia. I mean, the defense is legit.
Isn't Notre Dame like every starter a senior or something like that?
I don't have any idea.
Who in the hell was that this weekend? I was seeing it. I want to say, if we got any Notre Dame fans in chat, let me know. Oh, well, of course my chat's not working. My internet's out again.
Slim Shady says Notre Dame beating Clemson means as much as Auburn beating UGA in 2017. Pretty good analogy. Why can't these ACC fans tell me who's going to play in the ACC title game when Miami, Notre Dame, and Clemson are all sitting there with one loss? Why can't anybody answer that question? If I was if Georgia was in the ACC, especially if they were one of these one-loss teams, I would know. Why can't someone tell me? I don't understand that. If I was Miami and hadn't won a meaningful game in 20 years, and we're sitting here with one loss, with a chance to make the ACC title game, which in turn would mean a chance to make the playoffs, you best bet I would know what determines whether or not we go to the ACC title game. Why can nobody tell me? I mean, that's crazy. Why, Jordan? Jordan says Clemson and Notre Dame are in the title game if all three went out. Why? Is that your opinion? Or I mean, tell me why. I want to know what the rule, what's the tiebreaker? How do they determine the top two if they don't play each other? Is it because Notre Dame beat Clemson and Miami lost to Clemson? Strength of schedule? It can't be strength of schedule because that's a subjective metric. It goes to computers. No, forget I asked. Just forget I asked. Creeping Death, thank you for the super chat. Can't wait for Brock next year. He will be fire. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah.
It'd be the wrong kind of on fire.
The best or second best quarterback in America looked like complete fucking shit at UGA, but Brock Vandergriff is going to be fire. Okay. Unique 863, thank you for the super chat. Lou, I rewatched the game. That almost pick six play. All wide receivers ran a hitch route. He went conservative in the second half. Kyle Trask doesn't make many mistakes. Now, we took advantage of the one for a pick six earlier in the game, but if you get that one there and make that thing a 6-point game, that was halfway through the fourth quarter. That would have been the first time in that game since early in the first quarter when Georgia was up 14-0 that we had put any pressure at all on Florida. That could have changed the game. Now, let's pretend Georgia houses that and makes it a 6-point game and then somehow scores another touchdown and ends up winning that thing by 1 point. I would still be on here saying Florida was the better team. That would have been one of the most epic losses and collapses. I mean, because Florida was clearly so much better than Georgia. The fact that it was that close in the fourth quarter would concern me as a Florida man. But I'm not a Florida man. Tiny Tonto, thank you for the super chat. He says, good morning, Lou. Don't forget our turnover bet and go Gators. Tell me the bet. I mean, we had a turnover bet, and I clearly lost it. But I guess you don't want to tell me what I owe you. I don't understand people. Why people do this all the time? Why can't you just give me all the information in one message? You know, now it's going to take 15 minutes of me begging you to tell me what I owe you. Slim Shady, thank you for the super chat. I think it's unfair. See, I lost a bet to Celine. He sent me a text message. What I owed him and how he wanted me to go about getting it to him. It was very concise, clear. I didn't have to message him back 9 times and get him to further explain it. Slim Shady, thank you for the super chat. He says, I think it's unfair to say Mathis is a bad QB. He was thrown into a deficit cold, basically no game experience. Well, yeah, but still, I don't think that's really an excuse. You got to be ready when the lights come on. I don't know if he's a bad quarterback either, though. I have to see him play somewhere else before I can determine that, because every quarterback that puts on a Georgia helmet is bad. Every single one, including Justin Fields, including Jacob Eason, who's going to be starting for the Indianapolis Colts next year. Jake Fromm, as much shit as I gave him, he's one of the best 90 quarterbacks on planet Earth because he's in the NFL on an active roster. So how many quarterbacks are in the NFL? Each team's got 3, some have 2. So 90, 95, he's one of the best 100 quarterbacks in the world. Couldn't get more than 2,700 yards at Georgia. Couldn't win a game if his life depended on it at Georgia. Every quarterback looks terrible at Georgia. Brian Jack, thank you for the super chat. Top of the morning. Not to sound like Ballard, for entertainment, who's in? Bama, lose an SEC championship run table, Notre Dame, OSU, Cincy, Clemson, UF, BYU, Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, and Oregon would be my picks right now. If Gus Malzahn beats Bama, does he get another extension? Asking for Luke Fickle. No extensions this year because of COVID. Not firing Gus Malzahn either because of COVID. Bluegrass Sports Media, thank you for the super chat. Saturday show pickers still yet to win. That's right. 0 for 11 now. He should have won that one, though. Clemson blew that game, man. Oh. This was a regular season game that, like somebody mentioned earlier, in the grand scheme of things this year, that game's not going to mean anything. Clemson's going to get another shot in the ACC title game, I'm guessing. But had that happened in a playoff game or something, oh my God. Clemson blew that big time. That last drive in the fourth quarter by Clemson was one of the worst clock management and play calling drives I have seen in a big time college football in a long time.
What happened?
Clemson was up by a touchdown. Clemson was up by a touchdown. They forced Notre Dame to punt with like 1:40 to go. Notre Dame had all 3 timeouts. Clearly, the goal when you're Clemson in that spot is to run the ball with the best running back in America 3 times in a row, which forces Notre Dame to use all 3 of their timeouts. Even if you don't get the first down, you punt the ball back deep to Notre Dame, they would have a minute to go and no timeouts, and they'd have to go to length of the field to score. Instead, Clemson throws an incomplete pass. Travis Etienne runs out of bounds on another play. So now you're punting the ball back to Notre Dame with, instead of a minute to go, there's 1:30 to go, and they have 2 timeouts instead of none. It was the worst. And of all people to make that mistake of running out of bounds, Travis Etienne should know better. Getting tackled in bounds was way more valuable than whatever extra yard or 2 he was going to gain by trying to get around the corner on that play. I mean, the guy just should have fell down. You know? The guy just should have fell down.
A lot of kids doing that, too. A lot of smart kids doing that in some of these games. Kind of surprising that he didn't.
I mean, that was just a blown drive there at the end. And it pissed me off in particular because it cost me $400 and something.
Jesus.
I had a 3. I don't ever play parlays. They're a sucker bet generally, but I was up some from last weekend, so I picked my 3 favorite games of the week. Cincinnati minus, I think, 12.5. Who else did I have? Oregon minus 9 and Clemson minus 5.5. Cincinnati and Oregon covered without a problem, and Clemson should have won that game in regulation by 7 points. And that $50 bet would have won me $350.
What were they favored?
They were favored by 5.5.
Wow.
They were up 7 when they got the ball back, and should have. Notre Dame never should have got the ball back. You got the best running back in America. The game is on the line. You give it to him 3 times in a row and went and sealed a deal. I don't know what they were doing. It was the worst possession at the end of a game by a team up by 7 with 2 minutes to go that maybe I've ever seen. It was that bad. Tiny
Yeah,
Tonto says, you owe me
I
a Florida
flipped it
mini
over
helmet
there.
for which team would have more turnovers. I'll email you my address so you can get it delivered. All right, sounds good. Make sure you tell me which one you want, too. If not, I'll just send you whichever one I see first on Amazon.
Send them a Tennessee helmet. They got nowhere to go but up.
Matt Miller, thank you for the super chat. He said Trevor wasn't the missing link. It was neck roll. Yeah, the defense, the guys that were out on defense for Clemson had a bigger impact in that game than missing Trevor Lawrence. Now, maybe you say, well, if you had Trevor in, the leadership thing, whatever, I don't know. But, yeah, nepotism, neck roll being injured, which forced Clemson to play Venable's son at linebacker, who's not any good. That's what cost Clemson the game in the end. That and that piss-poor drive in the end of the fourth quarter. But, yeah, you shouldn't be giving your coaches' children scholarships when they're not any good at football. The guy was a 3-star. He was like the 3,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's a 5-star, honestly. You should not sign your own children. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be signing your own children. If they want to walk on or whatever, I guess that would be okay, although I wouldn't want that either. But you wasted a scholarship on this guy's kid. Both of them. They got both this guy's kids on scholarship, BVD. Venables. They got both his kids on scholarship.
Damn.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe you had to do that to keep him there. Everybody wants Venables, so maybe you do that to keep him there. I don't know. But you don't have to play him. You should have recruited a linebacker that knew what they were doing instead of wasting a scholarship on your defensive coordinator's son.
Maybe they felt like they had so many good ones, they could get away with that.
Adrian, I like you, buddy, but when you call somebody an idiot, you have to spell your words right, or honestly, it's one of the worst things you can do.
Fail.
When you say you're an idiot and then you spell a word wrong, it makes you look silly. Pinecone, thank you for the super chat. He says, ever seen a dog get bit by a gator? No, I have not. Tiny Tonto, thank you for the super chat. That's about the mini helmet again. Pinecone says, breaking news, Miami ranked higher than Georgia. Yeah, they just have one loss and Georgia has 2, so didn't take much of a rocket science to figure that out. They'll be ranked higher in my poll, too. Georgia won't even be in the top 10 in my poll. I'll just tell you that now. I'm not even putting Georgia. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the polls. I don't know if they left Georgia in the top 10 or not, but they don't deserve to be in the top 10. I don't know where they're at in the new polls, but let's pull them up and look at them. Luke
Fickell at Cincinnati next year.
Will he be at Cincinnati next year?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's going to be as many job openings because of coronavirus, so he may. It depends on the job because he's turned some jobs down already. So we know he's not just going to jump at any Power 5 job. He turned Michigan State down last year, so
you can't blame him there.
I think it depends on the job openings. I think anybody that has a job opening will call him. So I think it depends on which openings it is. The only coach right now that I'm convinced could be on the way out is Will Muschamp. They may get rid of him, but you know what? They have a head coach on staff already.
Who are you referring to?
Bobo.
Oh yeah.
They may just promote him. I don't know that they will. I can tell you right. Well, here's what I can tell you: if they don't promote him, he's gone. I would be if I was him. He took a step down to become offensive coordinator there. If a job opens up a year later and he doesn't get it, I would leave. If I was him. I like Mike Bobo too. I've been able to make fun of the last 2 South Carolina coaches, Muschamp and Spurrier. I won't be able to make fun of Bobo. I like him. Not that means he'll be a successful winning coach at South Carolina. I don't know one way or the other. But I won't be able to crack jokes on him in all my trash talk videos like I do about Malzahn and like Mullen and That's on Mullen. What is his name? Muschamp. Too many M names in the SEC. Muschamp or Spurrier. I won't be cracking jokes on Bobo. I like Bobo. I wanted Bobo, but South Carolina got him. All right, where's these rankings at? Here we go.
I'd take Sam Pittman.
AP poll: Bama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, Texas A&M, Florida, Cincinnati, Miami, Indiana, Oregon, Georgia. They got Georgia at 12. That sounds about right. I'd probably move them behind Wisconsin too. That's probably where I would. Yeah, I would move Wisconsin ahead of Georgia. I would put Georgia at 13, and if my poll looked like that. I'll do mine later this afternoon. And I'm actually really going to do it this week. Not like last week where I just kept saying I was going to do it, but I didn't. Coaches poll: Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson. So that's the same. Florida and Texas A&M. I think the top 10 is the same. And they have Georgia at 11. So I would put Oregon and Wisconsin. Again, I would in this poll I would have Oregon 11, Wisconsin 12, Georgia 13. I don't know about Indiana either. The Big Ten is a mess right now.
Indiana and Northwestern are both 3-0 for the first time in the history of that conference at the same time.
Big Ten is weird right
amazing.
now. Like I think Georgia would beat Indiana and Northwestern. I wouldn't be worried about playing those two. I would probably in this poll here, I'd probably move Oregon and Wisconsin ahead of Indiana. So I'd have Oregon at 10, Wisconsin at 11, maybe Georgia at 12. Indiana, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I do it today. But I don't think Georgia would. I don't think Georgia would lose to Indiana, or Northwestern, or Oklahoma State, or Marshall, or Iowa State, or Coastal Carolina. So Georgia's somewhere between 10 and 13 is where Georgia should be, I think.
Marshall with another scoring barrage.
I mean, Georgia's got 2 losses, but they're both the top, 5 teams. So, but what's Georgia's best win? See, is their best win is over number 21 Auburn. God, I can't believe Auburn's 4-2. Auburn's the luckiest 4-2 team ever, because really they lost 2 of those games.
The Arkansas game and what other game?
Kentucky and really Ole Miss too. Well, the Arkansas game they definitely lost. The Ole Miss game I think they should have. You can make an argument they should have lost. In Kentucky, that they had that call on the goal line that didn't go Kentucky's way, and it should have. But they could be 1-5. But they should, at the best, they should be 3-3.
Yet there they are.
Yep. Pinecone says Georgia already started their 2024 campaign. Putting a laughing emoji after your comment doesn't automatically make it funny. Just public service announcement there. That one fell on its face. I've told you this before, Pinecone. You're a nice and likable guy, but trash talk just isn't your thing because you're just not any good at it.
Maybe sometimes it's best to let your team do the talking.
Well, I'm not telling him he shouldn't talk, but
No, I know. I'm just saying.
His trash talk game is
even if you are a good
pretty
trash
poor.
talker.
Yeah, his trash talk game is pretty poor. I mean, I keep it real here. Georgia's quarterback, Pinecone's trash talking is on the level of Georgia's quarterback play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. I just see a comment, and all the comment says is Mexican wrestlers. Now, I'm sure there's some conversation going on in the chat section that I haven't read, but it is funny to just look down in the comment section real quick and see a comment that only says Mexican
I wonder
wrestlers.
if there's any Mexican wrestlers out there that can coach SEC football.
That I don't know.
'Cause I'd take one.
Clemens' son, congratulations on your loss, and thank you for the super chat. He says, Google were natural vanilla flavoring come from. Man. If I copy what you put and put it in Google, a translator app will come up, sir. I don't know what flavoring is. Google were. Are you saying Google were natural vanilla? I thought Google were a search engine. Ain't Google were a search engine, BVD?
Sounds like one.
Google were natural vanilla flavoring come from. Thank you, Clemens' son, and again, sorry for your loss this weekend.
What about the Notre Dame kids rushing the field?
Oh, I love this. I love that.
Oh, I mean, it was beautiful to see.
I
but
love to
mean,
see that. Yeah.
I'm surprised they let that happen.
Well,
Of course,
no-
they probably weren't stopping.
no one
it.
lets it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember when Georgia rushed the field against Tennessee. That was pre-planned, not by the school, but I mean it was no secret that was going to happen if Georgia won that game. It was talked about ahead of time. And that must have been the case with Notre Dame, too, because Chip Kelly told his team it was happening. Not Chip Kelly. Shit, I'm getting all these coaches wrong today. Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly told the team it was happening and told them, so as soon as the game ends, y'all need to get off the field as quick as you can so you don't catch COVID. That's what he told them. He said, if we win this game, I need y'all to hurry to the locker room because they're probably going to rush the field, and I don't want any of y'all catching COVID.
Wonder if it would be. Yeah, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, I wonder if it would be better if half of Tennessee's team would catch COVID and it just wipe them out for the rest of the year. But we don't want to see that.
I got to go pee. Can you handle it?
Well, no,
do
I can't
something
handle
to-
you. I can't handle you going to pee.
Well, I mean,
but
can you do your best to entertain these people for about 5 minutes?
I can talk to them for 5 minutes.
Okay, good.
I'll just sit here and talk to these fine folks in the comments this morning because I sure as hell don't have any football to talk about. Except G-Pick because my Cardinals lost last night. Damn it. Hey, but shout out to the 900 people that showed up to watch it. That was kind of cool. Goes to Judah Tribe in the comments this morning, stirring things up. Oh, of course not, G-Pick. Of course not. You got to make an effort for something to even develop in that department, don't you? I mean, the Cardinals don't suck, Marcus. That's incorrect, sir. Tennessee, in fact, does suck. So, not a lot I can say there. But Arizona doesn't suck. Miami's better. Man, damn. Tua and Murray were lights out last night. Those are two dudes that are hard to tackle. Yeah, Crimson Braves, shut up. They did. I mean, it's one of them games you hate to see either one of those quarterbacks have to take an L. Dustin, if Felipe Franks in his college career could have played Tennessee every game, he'd be undefeated. No, Dean, I don't. I'm disabled. This is not a job. It's I can't technically call YouTube my job. Celine Driver, it helps if you have a microphone. I don't have a microphone. I have a phone, and I don't want to stick my face right up in it because then it'll sound like hot shit. Both of the Tungabaloa kids had good weekends. Tua and Threa getting big wins this weekend. Can you not hear me at all now? Blessed mess. If Harrison Bailey doesn't start next week, they may the kids at Tennessee may rush another building. They may riot somewhere again. Because the Jarrett Guaranturdo experience has long since been over. If that dude comes back next year, holy God.
See, he shouldn't play anymore this year either. He shouldn't play. He shouldn't play another snap.
Done.
There's no. This is not rec league.
Yeah.
You know, these coaches, their paychecks are on the line. You know, tough decisions have to be made. Okay. Thank you for your service. Yeah. Thank you for your service, JG. Whatever. You've been here this many years. Thank you for what you did. We have to start looking. We have to start looking to the future. He shouldn't play another snap. What good? Why?
Well, Lou, he gives us the best chance to win.
Winning doesn't matter. Winning these next 2 or 3 games for Tennessee doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters? What matters is next year. At this point,
Pruitt's in love with this guy. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I think Carson Beck should get some playing time this year too. Georgia's got to start developing these QBs, and it's clear that it can't be done in practice because every time we put one of these guys in a game, they look terrible. They need to start playing in games. Last year, nobody, not a single soul other than Jake Fromm, played a meaningful snap at quarterback for UGA. You should have let Stetson run the offense. We put Stetson in a lot last year. Handoff. It means nothing.
That's what Tennessee did this weekend.
It means absolutely nothing. You better start developing these QBs because is Kirby going to be out of a job this year or next year? No. But if you had to place a bet on why Kirby will eventually no longer be at Georgia, whenever that point is, everybody would say failure to develop a quarterback. That, like I said earlier, the honeymoon thing with Kirby is over. 2017 was 4 years ago. This is unacceptable. I don't care what Georgia's recruiting classes have looked like over the last 4 years. The quarterback options at Georgia right now are unacceptable. We could have had 20th ranked classes. Y'all watch college football like I do. Who went 9 of 29 this weekend? Did anybody have a worse day at the quarterback position in all of college football than Georgia? I haven't looked, but I don't know that you can find it. I mean, I can look up here. I'll look up. We'll find out right now. All this shit.
When you're talking about
dumb.
Putting the guys in and handoff. We were still in that game this weekend when he pulled. Well, he didn't pull him, but when JG got hurt, we were still in that game. But
who's a terrible team? Who's a terrible team with terrible quarterback play besides Georgia? Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are they at? Where the hell? Oh, you got to scroll way down to find a Tennessee game. Oh, dang. Where are they? Damn, they put Tennessee at the very damn bottom. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yikes. Well, you didn't have 20 incompletions. I'll give you that. 107 yards. So
We
not
had some by God
ain't much
amazing
better.
handoffs.
That ain't much better.
Some of
11
the best handoffs I've ever seen.
combined, y'all were 11 of 21. We were 9 of 29, so we were still worse. 9 of 29 is worse than 11 of 21.
We threw 21 passes?
Combined between all three. Yeah, Maurer
That
was
had to
0
be-
for 4.
Damn, Harrison Bailey threw 10 on that last possession, it seemed like.
He was 6 of 9
Yeah.
with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I don't count
Again,
those. I mean,
this is great. That's great. Harrison
He's
Bailey
he's
should get
getting some
9
experience.
exactly. Well, you want him making interceptions now or week 2 next year? Now make him get the learning curve should be happening now for Harrison Bailey and for Carson Beck and for DeJuan Mathis and for
We've been making joy for over
goddamn
100
ESPN
years.
got me again.
So the four
They got me again. Or for whoever. I mean, this ain't rec league. You got to start playing these guys that give you a chance down the road because there's nothing to play for now. I'm talking to Georgia too, not just you.
I want to see
but-
what Harrison Bailey can do with a full game. I know he's only got a handful of minutes and series.
Who else
Damn
is
it.
terrible? Oh, Vandy's terrible.
Yeah, they need more than quarterbacks.
Let's see what Vandy did.
They need about 30 more.
Oh,
scholarship
Florida
players,
State's
don't they?
terrible. They lost 41-17 to Pitt.
Wow.
Florida State, 23 of 41. That's better than 9 of 29. And they had 144 yards. That's better than the 112 we had. My point is, I know that I harp about the Justin Fields thing. Not everybody's going to have a Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence or a Kyle Trask or a Mac Jones, whatever. I know that. But there ain't very many. God almighty.
Sunday ritual.
I'm never pulling up ESPN again. But
Stay off of there.
there's only a handful of teams who have as bad of quarterback play as Georgia. It's not very many. Even these terrible teams can go out and throw for 150, 175 yards and complete 50% of their passes. We were 9 of 29. That's like 35% completion percentage. I mean, that's just terrible. And again, we had wide receivers running wide open on every play. They either, quarterback doesn't see them, throws it over their head, throws it at their feet. It was terrible. Terrible. So, Kirby's got to do something. And again, I don't think it's not a recruiting issue. I think we've got some quarterbacks on our team who could complete 55, 60% for a couple hundred yards a game, almost anywhere they went. Kirby is doing something mentally to these quarterbacks. I don't know what it is. You hear this in golf all the time. People will take golf lessons and then they get out there to play golf, and there's so much stuff in their head they're trying to think about that they can't just swing the club and hit the ball. And I think that's what's happening with Georgia's quarterbacks. There's so much. Kirby is doing something to them during the week or whatever to mentally in their head. And when they get out there to run the offense, instead of just going out there and playing football like they've been doing for 15 years from the time they were 7 or 8 till now, they've got so much, don't do this, make sure to do that, do this, don't do that, look here, don't look there, check this thing. What about, should I be changing to a run play on the left or the right? They can't just go out there and play football. Even Georgia haters or trolls, I don't think, believe that all these Georgia quarterbacks are actually terrible. They just play terrible when they put a Georgia helmet on, is what I think. And again, we only have 2 examples of people who have left, but they both played better when they left than they did at Georgia. So it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Pineco says Georgia and Florida State is the same team. Changed my mind. Oh God. You see what I was saying earlier, BBD? You see what I was saying?
I love me some pine cone. He tries.
He does try. I like Pinecone too. That's why I'm trying to help him.
You should pick on Pinecone. You should pick on Tennessee. We're a lot easier to pick on right now. Y'all clearly win the backer award this year. You could even lose another game. Hell, you could lose 3 more games and still be backer than Tennessee. You know, I can't even get mad anymore. That's what's so damn depressing about it.
Yeah, I find myself begging to lose any other way than because of quarterback play. I even made a post on Twitter and Facebook at halftime of the Georgia-Florida game and said, I know we're going to lose. Please, Kirby, let us lose with a different quarterback. Please.
Well, you did.
And we did. So, and even Kirby in the post game said I only took him out because he had a separated shoulder. So he was going to leave him in. Hell, he put him out there. He put him out there after halftime. He put Stetson out there after halftime.
Yeah.
1 possession, and then took him out. They said, well, we thought he could go, but his shoulder, but he separated his shoulder. We thought he could go, but he couldn't do it, so we made the switch. So he didn't make the switch because he was playing bad. He still didn't bench him because he was playing bad. Benched him because he had a separated shoulder. My God. Brian Jack says, Kirby equals a bad drug, gets you high, horrible come down. How many days is appropriate, BBD, with, the crow? I'm not that familiar. I'm not an expert on the crow rules because I don't have to do it very often. How many days do I just have to agree with everything the Florida man says before I start talking reality again?
As long as you want in this situation.
Okay. Mullen is still 1-3 against Kirby. Mullen has still never won a division. That's likely to change this year. What's not likely to change this year, and what's impossible to change this year is his record against Kirby. It's going to be 1-3 at the end of this season. He's still not going to have an SEC title. Kirby does. Kirby got one in his 2nd year. Mullen's in his 12th year, still looking for one. He's not making the playoffs. Kirby did in his 2nd year. Mullen been there 12 years, hasn't done it. He's not winning a playoff game. Kirby did in his 2nd year. Mullen been head coach 12 years. None of that is happening. Florida fans should stick to just bragging about the win over Georgia and stop acting like it means anything other than that, because it doesn't. They're not beating Alabama. Lou's just an Alabama fan. Do I seem mad, Brian? Do I seem mad to you?
I'm certainly not. I had a great weekend.
Mullen is better than Harbaugh. I will agree with that.
He done after this year? Or COVID going to save him
I
too?
think save him too.
I was going to say this earlier when you were talking about Kirby's post-game press conferences. I want Jeremy Pruitt to just one time, shout out to Law Tide, to just one time come up to the damn microphone after a game and do like James Franklin did this weekend. This one's on me.
Yeah. Georgia is trending down.
Captain Obvious in the house.
Yeah, they're gonna have 2 regular season losses this year instead of 1. Might want to check the recruiting over the last 4 years too.
Jerry Wells.
Recruiting is a pretty good indication of what direction a team is heading.
He's going to be given 5 years. And East Tennessee guy, yes, Greenville got a COVID win Friday night.
Would I take Mullen or Manny Diaz? You know, I am a little sour right now on defensive head coaches. So given the choice between those
Me
two,
too.
I would probably take Mullen right now. But I'm not, Manny Diaz has only been a head coach for 2 years. So when I say that, I'm not saying that to put Manny Diaz down or because I even necessarily think Mullen is a better coach than Manny Diaz or will be 10 years down the road when you look back on him. It's just I'm a little sour on defensive head coaches right now. So I would choose Mullen between those two right now.
Do you know the Mullen man? The Mullen.
You know what I need to do? I just need to get my mind. I need to change it up. I need to change my routine.
Yeah, you need to start thinking about basketball season.
No, not
No,
that.
Wait, that's me.
But instead of sitting around in here and watching football all day on Saturday, I should get out of here.
Yeah. Weather's nice down there right now, right? I mean, it's always tolerable in November. And
I'm thinking about just getting out of town altogether
I think you should do that
on
next
Saturday. Instead of sitting here and watching the games, I should just leave and go somewhere.
I think you and Lou should do something together on Saturday.
I am Lou.
Junior.
Well, why would I do that?
Why not?
No, I think just me.
Well, either way.
What could I do? Where should I go?
Well, I know where I would go if I was you.
Where?
but I'm not you.
Where would you go if you were me?
I mean, if I was you're in South Georgia, right?
No.
Mid Georgia?
Yes.
Okay, middle of Georgia. I would probably just get away to Tennessee for a day.
Tennessee.
Weather's going to be nice, I think, for November.
Yeah.
Some good
Where?
restaurants.
Where in
restaurants
Tennessee?
In Knoxville.
Any suggestions on? Oh, Knoxville.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Somewhere you've never been before.
They got somewhere I can sit and watch all the games up there?
Yep. You could even stream if you wanted to. In fact, Uncle Lou, I can suggest a place where there'll be people that you may or may not even know.
Who?
Tap House.
Tap House in Knoxville.
Tennessee Tap House in West Knoxville, Peters Road.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
I don't believe you.
Mark me down.
Can I pencil it in?
Pencil it in.
Is it written in stone?
It's written in stone. Uncle Lou to the hill.
There you go. We'll be well, depending on what time you go to the hill, they will be receiving another beatdown.
Who y'all playing?
Aggie Land.
Who have they played? Oh yeah, beatdown incoming. And it's in Knoxville?
Yeah.
Man. How much are tickets for that shit show?
True. I think they're paying you to come.
$40, $50, something like that?
Attention, shoppers. If you will come and watch this team play, we'll feed you and give you $50.
Let's find out how much tickets are. We'll go to the first half, and then we'll go to Tap House. Watch the second half. You want to?
Well, there's a bunch of other people going to be there.
Who gives a shit? I'm not buying tickets for all of them. I'm just buying tickets for me and you.
Hell.
Would you do that? If not, I'll get somebody else to go with me. If you don't want to break bread with me or whatever, if you don't want to go with me, then just say you don't want to go with me.
No, it's not. It's not at all that I don't want. Let's just fucking do it.
All right.
Because I got great parking. I can get us close. Not that that matters to you. Well, yeah, it does matter to you. You got bum legs too.
We're gonna get somebody to drop us off at the gate, bro.
Shit.
Texas A&M at Tennessee.
You've always wanted to go see Texas A&M, haven't you?
Is there anywhere where we shouldn't sit?
If you're going to get tickets, just get the cheapest tickets you can find because we're going to sit wherever we want.
Upper level corner PP,
There you go.
$106 each.
Ooh.
Let me see. Where is that? Oh, I see where that is.
Yeah.
You said we can
in the
sit anywhere
corner.
though?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, do they have two? Let me see. 2 tickets.
It's those electronic tickets.
They only had 1 ticket there. This is upper level corner XX4, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just get.
Okay.
As long as it's those electronic tickets and there ain't no stubs, what are they gonna do? Excuse me, sir. Can I see your ticket stub?
Well,
No.
what a view! Look at this. What a view.
What was the XX what now?
XX4.
That's.
It's corner on the Tennessee side in the corner.
Yeah, it's chair back seats. That's where I
Of course it
usually
is.
go.
Okay.
Because that's the.
I really don't care where we sit, to be honest. I just want to say I went to a game at Neyland.
We're gonna go right down there in section U.
Oh, right here? Okay. Oh, right behind the
down
bench.
there.
Oh, I can yell at Pruitt from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why me and Law Tide didn't do that.
These are electronic tickets, ready to download,
Oh.
ready to download and print.
Oh, we need the kind where you just show them your phone, where they just scan that barcode on your phone.
We do. Well, does Tennessee even have electronic tickets?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are electronic tickets.
Yeah, that's what they did when me and Law Tide went. He just showed him his phone.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
these are
scanned the little
electronic tickets.
barcode on the phone, and we walked right on in. I don't know why the hell we didn't think of that till after the game. You know how in all these other SEC stadiums, like at Georgia and Alabama, they got everybody sitting all neat and tucked in together there, straight up and down, and nice little rows. It ain't like that at Tennessee. You got people all over the place.
Right.
Go right down there, right behind the damn bench, and talk to my boy Will Albright. Yell at Jeremy Pruitt. Put Will in, you son of a bitch. Put him in at quarterback. He used to play quarterback. He's probably better than anybody on that damn team, but besides Harrison Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you got to lose? Blog it, hell, we'll live stream it, Mike. This is 2020, son. We done moved right on past blogging. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that just be great if we went to that game and Tennessee found a way to win?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
If that happens, you may have to come up here and go to the last game with me too.
I don't know about that.
That's Florida.
I think once a year, Knoxville will be about all I can stand.
Yeah. Get you some of them. Come up here and I'll buy you one of them $10 nasty ass barbecue sandwiches. You like nasty barbecue, Lou?
Oh yeah, that's the best kind, as far as I'm concerned.
Man, that was fucking awful. Or I can get you a $8 cold hot dog. I'll leave that up to you.
I like that idea. The leaving it up to me thing.
Yeah.
I like when things are left up to me.
I do too.
All right.
Is it
There
a
we
done
is.
deal?
It's a done deal.
Alrighty.
Uncle Lou to the hill.
I know this ain't gonna happen. But what would really be great is if you could come up early Friday.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Too busy.
I'm going to leave here at like 4 in the morning Saturday. So I'll be there between 9 and 10.
Well, that'll work. So
I'll
we
call
can go
you when
down-
I'm getting close to Knoxville. You tell me where you're at. I'll get you, and we'll go straight to the stadium. It's a 12 o'clock
Hell,
game,
it'll
right?
No, 3:30 game.
Oh, it's a 3:30 game.
Yeah.
Georgia plays at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, I'm
Okay.
saying you get up here early enough, we can go on down to the tap house for a little while.
yeah, we'll do that. We'll hang out at
And
the tap house, then go to the
May
game.
even talk somebody into taking us down there and dropping us off.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I might even give whoever that person is a hug.
Right. Live stream at the game. I don't know what the internet situation is at the game, so it depends. You know,
Oh, it should be fine with
nobody
only
there.
30,000 people there.
Yeah, I've tried to stream at Georgia games before, and the network is just so crowded because there's 100,000 people. You know, running off
Hey,
of the
look
same
there.
cell phone towers or whatever. But I will attempt to live stream from there
D4 is going to come with us too.
to the game.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Slim, just get you a ticket anywhere, D4. We're going to sit together no matter where the tickets are at.
I should have.
Hell,
I could
get you a
have.
ticket too, Slim Shady.
I should
Just
have.
make it force 'em.
Instead of getting in such a hurry, I could have bought all the tickets together, you know, and they could have just paid me back or whatever, and we could have had seats together. But I guess if we're going to sit
Yeah,
wherever
we're
we want,
We're
doesn't matter.
sitting together.
Gotcha. I understand. And
I'll make that happen.
yeah.
I'll make that happen, Lou.
Make sure y'all wear y'all's masks too.
You ever seen D4?
I've seen them on the internet.
Ain't none of them kneeling Nazis down there gonna fuck with him.
He has to
They're
buy
not-
two.
they're
He
not-
has to buy 2 tickets, doesn't he?
Why?
Well, he's a big boy, ain't he?
Ain't that big.
Oh, okay. He's not Chess Hall big. Is what you're saying.
I've seen Chess Hall big people sit in that stadium before. Now,
Chess
that
Hall
would
ever been
piss
to a
me off.
game?
I don't know.
I'll take him to a Georgia game next year if he's never been to one.
Slim Shady said he'd drop us off.
Slim Shady's good people. We're gonna have to ride in the back of his.
Well,
18-wheeler or-
Are you gonna pick us up?
They got Uber up there, I'm sure too. We Uber right to the gate.
I mean, Slim Shady said he'd drop us off. We can find a way back.
Yeah. Come to West Lafayette, woo. Yeah,
Charles Anderson, are
that-
you coming up here? He's an Aggie fan, Lou.
that's next on my list, Zach. Go. It's first the Tennessee game, right after that, Purdue game. Yeah, that'll be fun. No, I don't have to go to Walmart and buy a Vols shirt to wear to the game. I definitely don't have to do that.
Hell, I can bring you a Vols shirt. You're
No.
gonna wear a Georgia shirt though, ain't you?
I'll probably just
wear a
yeah. I don't
wear
feel
something with the collar up.
I don't feel the need to show up there and pour salt on everyone's wound.
Why
Hell,
not? People do it all
maybe
the
General
time.
Valtard will go to the game. They have a mask.
Well,
They have a mask mandate, so it's not like they can make me take it off. It's a mask. It's a COVID
true.
mask. It just,
They might make you leave your meth pipe in the car though.
yeah.
You take your meth pipe in there, somebody might steal it from you. Hell, I might steal it from you.
Everybody wants to go to a game with me now that they know I buy tickets. Come to a Miami game. Come to a Purdue game.
I don't see why not, Slim.
I mean, I'll probably wear my professional shirt
Hashtag professional.
or Slob Olympics.
Too bad everybody doesn't have a Slob Olympic shirt.
Everyone should have one. They're real easy to get. They're $20. It supports a good cause. By good, I mean me. Every Slob Olympics shirt you buy, I make about $1.50.
Well, hell, sell you about 40 of them shirts, you'll have enough money to buy a hot dog at the game.
Yeah. Well, next year I'm going to a Georgia game. There's a lot of stadiums I would love to see a game in, but the problem right now is that I generally only go to one game a year. It costs me a lot of money to go to a game because of the money I can't make by sitting here and doing videos that day. So I only go to one a year right now.
You okay, like, going to a game? Are you still somewhat fairly comfortable going to a regular season game? And by regular season, I mean not a COVID year, where the stadium's packed and you're elbow to asshole together. Are you still okay with that?
Oh, yeah, I prefer that.
Okay.
I
See,
mean,
'cause
the only reason I go to a game anymore at all is tailgating and atmosphere. I don't go to the game because I think it's amazing to be at the game.
Right.
I can, to me, it's better to watch. It's better to watch the game on TV to me than it is to watch it in person. I try to go to one game a year. Well, a couple of reasons. I like for my son to have the experience of going to games. I love the tailgating and the hanging out with everybody before the game. And I don't think there's anything you can do on planet Earth except maybe go to a European soccer game that comes anywhere close to the atmosphere of a big-time college football game. And some of that you don't get this year. You don't get the tailgating this year. You don't get the big-time atmosphere this year because of COVID. So that's why I made the decision not to go to a game this year originally. Wasn't necessarily that I was afraid of COVID, although, I do believe in taking precautions when you can. I wouldn't go to a game if there was 100,000 people there. But,
Well, you ain't got to worry about that.
right. Yeah,
There's not
so
been 100,000
will be
people
fine.
there in years.
A&M fans need to be humbled, says Caleb. Well, Florida had a chance to humble them. Couldn't pull it off, though.
Hey, you know what, Lou?
What?
You could take your flashlight with you and sit in that section, and you could be flashlight PP for a day.
Flashlight PP. I'm going to wear a support Jeremy Pruitt t-shirt.
Where you gonna get one?
I'll have it made.
Okay. I need to get me one that says "Put Will Albright in."
Hurricane Zoe says he's the first to do this college football YouTuber thing.
No,
Yeah, that's a big negative.
not even close.
It's a big negative. You an Illinois fan, Evan?
By college YouTuber thing, what do you suppose he means?
I guess the first person to talk about college football on YouTube, but
Yeah,
he's
I'm
nowhere.
gonna
He's about 10 years off.
I'm gonna have to go with no on that.
Yeah.
I would be.
There was
a
people
close
doing this in
candidate for that.
2008.
Yeah.
There's an Illinois fan here.
All
BBD.
right.
He goes to school there. Yeah,
Well, good for you,
yeah. Of course, their
Give
head
him
coach.
hell,
Their head coach, of
young
course,
Illini guy.
the Black Santa Claus. Head coach there at Illinois.
How are they doing this year?
About the same as every year. Who's better,
Yeah.
Alabama or Ohio State? I would probably take Alabama right now in a close one. BBD just hung up on us again. Seems like BBD, is it just me or like the last 3 or 4 shows, BBD has hung up on me at almost the exact same time every week, 9:45. Got to figure out what's going on with that. Lou or BBD, let me know where y'all's tickets are in the stadium, and if I have to, I got Carter, and we all go. These tickets are here. I'm gonna put it on the screen again, so if you forget, you can come back to this video and look it up again. But it's it's right here, upper level corner, XX4, row 26, seats 6 and 7. Are you there?
Yeah, this
Okay.
phone's really starting to piss me off.
Yeah, I think it's got an hour and 45-minute time limit because I was just saying it seems like the
must.
last 3 or 4 shows we've gotten disconnected at almost the same time.
Well,
show.
it was twice last time.
Yeah, that's right.
D4 and Slim both. Seriously, just get the cheapest ticket you can find. Don't worry about where it's at. I'm telling you that there's no. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Everybody doesn't sit uniformly in Neyland Stadium like they do in Sanford Stadium and Bryant and all those places.
Tiny
And
Tonto
Wall Tugs.
says I need to come to a night game in the swamp. I wouldn't mind going to
saw
see a
that
game in
earlier.
the swamp. This is just dumb luck, really, that I'm going to a game in Tennessee that doesn't involve Georgia. That normally, I would be going to one game a year, and it would be a Georgia game, whether it was home or away. I don't have the opportunity to go to a lot of different games, so it's going to be a long time before I see a game in the swamp, because Georgia never plays there. I was already, this thing in going to Knoxville, this thing I've been planning this for 2 weeks. It just now dawned on me to go to the game while I was there, but that's the only reason I'm going to the game is because I'm going to be there anyway. I don't know when I would get to a game in the swamp, to be honest. There's what I would like to do is go to an away game, one Georgia away game a year at a different stadium every year until I've been to a game at every stadium I can possibly go to by seeing Georgia games, if that makes sense. So the fact that we don't ever play in Gainesville might slow that down. Clay says, nice guys finished last, Lou. Kirby Richt. The only comparison I see between Mark Richt and Kirby Smart is that they were both amazing their first 5 years as a head coach. For the life of me, I will never understand why people think it's an insult to compare Kirby Smart to Mark Richt in their first 5 years. If you want to show me a coach that has done better in their first 5 years as a coach than Richt or Smart, I'm willing to listen. But I can tell you the list is very small. Brandon Pratt, thank you for the super chat. He says BVD runs out of prepaid minutes every day at the same time. Chris,
actually,
Kirby
a
Smart.
prepaid phone would probably give me better service than this.
Yeah. Kirby Smart straight up says without equivocation he says it plain as day that JT Daniels is not as good as Stetson Bennett or DeJuan Mathis. He said it again this week.
Said it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he would know.
Pinecone just left the same pointless trash talk super chat that he left 15 minutes ago. You see that?
Georgia and FSU is the same team. Changing my mind.
He literally, look, he said that already.
The Alejandro Ramirez.
Pinecone's clown level is breaking through the glass ceiling.
Thank you for the super chat, Pinecone. If you say the same thing in a super chat 5 times, it'll come true. That's what I've heard, anyway.
Brian, trying to change someone's mind who thinks Georgia and Florida State is the same team is like trying to change Judah Tribe's mind that the earth is flat. It's an exercise in futility.
You know, trying to love 2 women. I forgot how it went now, damn it. For some reason, trying to love 2 women's like a ball and chain comes to mind, but that ain't right. You guys need each other's phone number, Slim Shady and D4?
Hey, thanks, Evan. I appreciate that. Thank you for those kind words, sir. I don't really consider myself any type of analyst or anything. I'm just a fan. Maybe just a little louder than and obnoxious than other fans, but I don't. But thank you for the kind words. All right, let's get out of here for today.
All right. Slim Shady and D4, I'll hook you guys up. What phone numbers there, buddy? Did my phone drop again?
No, you're here.
Okay.
Another PayPal. Let's read this before we get out of here. Good morning, Lou. There's something about today. The sun just seems brighter. Everyone is friendly. I woke up Sunday morning feeling like I got a 2-hour BJ. Happy days. That's from a Notre Dame fan.
A 2-hour BJ?
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be nice.
And to be honest, it sounds like she didn't know what she was doing. Just 2 hours?
Yeah.
She clearly didn't know what she was doing.
Maybe you got multiple blowjobs in 2 hours.
Maybe.
It'd be better, wouldn't it?
Maybe. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Do it all over again. I will have the top 10 video out today. You have my word. In fact, I've got several videos I want to make this week. Some Georgia-specific videos that I want to make, and maybe even might even be making a Muschamp video, not a trash talk video, just the fact that he might really be out of a job. Talk about that. Maybe talk about which coaches might actually get fired. Something like a couple. So anyway, a couple of things I'm working on for this week. But the top 10 video will be out today for sure. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Thanks to those of you who chose to support the show this morning through the Super Chat, the PayPal. That's what keeps these live shows going. So we really appreciate that. And everybody again that tuned in, participated in the comment section. All that really means a lot. BVD, you get the last word.
Judah Tribe. Nice try, sir. The rest of you guys, we love you. And we'll see you in the morning.
Judah Tribe.
And I can assure you, Florida 49 fan, whatever your name is, Florida Gator 49, Christy is most assuredly a female.